In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on October 15, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Oklahoma State versus TCU. It's a Big 12 matchup of ranked unbeaten teams as they clash on the gridiron under the lights in the Lone Star State. The number 8 Oklahoma State Cowboys are on the road as they travel to face the number 13 TCU Horned Frogs Saturday night. Oklahoma State remained perfect as they took down Texas Tech 41-31 at home last Saturday in their most recent action. TCU went on the road and upended number 19 Kansas 38-31 in their most recent game last Saturday afternoon. In the all-time series between these programs, Oklahoma State owns a 17-13-2 advantage, including a 63-17 home victory in the most recent matchup on November 13, 2021. The Cowboys are 16-5-1 against the spread in their last 22 road games and 15-5-1 against the spread in their last 21 games overall. The Horned Frogs are 14-29-1 against the spread in their last 44 home games and 4-0-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The over is 5-1 in Cowboys' last 6 games overall. The home team is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. The underdog is 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 meetings. This is going to be one of the top games in college football this weekend. 2 of the best offenses in the country going against 2 secondaries that have some serious question marks attached. TCU's Duggan versus OK State Sanders. The game is going to be decided when a defense makes a big play to stall out an opposing offense's drive. In my opinion, Kansas did that a lot to TCU, especially in the first half of play. Oklahoma State should be able to do that enough even though they are on the road. The Cowboys' defense gives up an average of 23 points per game even though they allow 268 yards through the air. Oklahoma State has the experience, too. They won against a ranked team already on the road this season as they beat Baylor in Waco. Both teams are off to a strong start, and it's the TCU Horned Frogs who are going to get the benefit of the doubt because they're at home. However, we're getting the Oklahoma State Cowboys in the underdog role, a team that already went into Baylor and won and has an offense that's 4th in scoring. This game at worst is decided by 3 points either way. Oklahoma State is averaging 46 points per game, and they are going to run up the score here. TCU gave up 31 points to Kansas, and Oklahoma State will score at least that here. The Cowboys are going to keep it close. I can't leave free points on the table with the Cowboys. This is a case where either team that was getting points was the team I was probably going to back. So the Oklahoma State Cowboys to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The total in this game is set extremely high, but for good reason. TCU and Oklahoma State ranked 4th and 6th in the nation in points per game respectively, and both defenses have glaring holes. The TCU offense has been incredibly efficient, and while I do expect a slight regression in that efficiency, it may not come in this spot. They should be able to keep pace with the Cowboys offense in this spot as the Horned Frogs are 7th in passing EPA offensively, and Max Duggan looks like an entirely different quarterback under Sonny Dykes that he did last season. Quentin Johnston is a legitimate NFL prospect on the outside, and if the efficient run game of TCU is stymied by the front 7 of the Cowboys, he may see more volume in this game. The TCU passing attack will be by far the best that Oklahoma State has faced to this point in the season, and they should find success in explosive chunk plays as Oklahoma State ranks 63rd in PFF's coverage grade. TCU's secondary is even worse, ranking 84th in PFF's coverage grade, and Oklahoma State plays at a very fast pace. They run 80.8 plays a game so far, which ranks 7th in the nation, and their 20.8 seconds per snap ranks 5th fastest as well. It will be a very hot game in Texas on Saturday afternoon, and the quick pace should favor the Cowboys' offense that is used to that speed. Braden Johnson and Bryson Green averaged 21.2 and 17.8 yards per catch for Oklahoma State, and that type of explosive playmaking should show up on the field in this matchup. Brennan Presley leads the team in catches and provides a consistent intermediate threat for Sanders to utilize. Oklahoma State also has an elite special teams unit that grades out as third best in the nation according to PFF, and that showed up against Baylor with a kick return for a score. Last year, Oklahoma State scored 63 points on their own in this matchup as they won 63-17. Oklahoma State and TCU are averaging the same amount of points this season at 46 apiece. Their quarterbacks have the experience to not make dumb throws and are accurate enough to make the medium-range throws to convert third downs. Drives will be long and quick as the two teams rely on their passing games. The over is 5-1 in Cowboys' last 6 games overall. The over is 9-1 in Horned Frogs' last 10 games following a straight-up win. Points, and more points. If offenses is your thing, this game will have it as two of the best offenses in the country will face off. While I expect this game to be far closer than that final score, the over is still the only way to play this total in my opinion, as both teams have seen over 70 points per game scored on average in their games this season. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. NC State versus Syracuse. This Saturday, the number 15 NC State Wolfpack and the number 18 Syracuse Orange will match up in the 7th week of the 2022 college football season. Kickoff will be inside the JMA Wireless Dome. Both of these teams have started the year very fast, as they have only combined for 1 loss. They have leaned on their defenses all season, and that trend will continue in this game. The NC State Wolfpack is coming into this one after taking down Florida State 19-17. They had a great fourth quarter comeback as they scored 16 unanswered points in the second half. They will need their offense to stay efficient if they want to get the job done on the road in this one. The Syracuse Orange are entering this one after defeating Wagner 59-0. This was never a challenge for the Orange, as they dominated on the offensive and defensive side of the field. They now have a tougher matchup, as they will have to show up at home in this one. NC State is 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 road games, while the over is 4-1 in their last 5 conference games. Syracuse is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall and 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 home games, while the under is 5-1 in their last 6 conference games. Syracuse will run the ball early and often against NC State, which should be a good game plan against a Wolfpack defense that hasn't allowed more than 1 passing touchdown in a game since week 1. That said, Schrader has been an efficient game manager when throwing the ball and already impacts the game with his dual threat ability as a runner. The Wolfpack have won 3 consecutive over the Orange, but don't come into this game with as much momentum with Leary's questionable status. Even if he does play, a limited Leary could be great news for the Orange. Syracuse is coming off of a bye week and an uncompetitive 59-0 rout of Wagner in its previous game, so the defense should be rested and prepared. Regardless, anyone predicting a resounding victory should think twice, as the Orange did not win by more than 3 points in home wins over Purdue and Virginia earlier this season. NC State only managed field goals in the second half of its last game and scored 1 passing touchdown each against Florida State and Clemson. NC State will have to overcome a lot without their starting quarterback and becoming more of a one-dimensional team. Syracuse should be able to do enough on offense to take care of business, and they are the favorite for the first time in the series, and the home team is 4-0 against the S-Reed in their last 4 meetings. The Orange will stay undefeated, so the Syracuse Orange to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both of these defenses are legit. I understand that Syracuse is averaging the 23rd most points scored per game, but they struggled against Purdue and Virginia. They boosted their average against UConn and Wagner. This NC State defense is allowing the 16th least amount of points and the 17th least amount of yards, as I see them making it very difficult for the Orange to move the ball through the air. They are surrendering the 21st least passing yards per game, as their secondary has continued to fly around the field this season. They are also surrendering the 28th least rushing yards, as I see them forcing the Orange to punt the ball multiple times throughout this game. Now, Syracuse's defense is also great, as they will make it very difficult on the Wolfpack. Syracuse is only allowing 14 points per game and 271 yards, which is the 9th least and the 10th least in the country. They can shut down the pass and the run, as neither of these offenses will do much in this game. While there will be plenty of discussion surrounding NC State's Leary and Syracuse's run game, the defenses could steal the show at the Carrier Dome. Both units are ranked in the top 25 in points allowed and total yards allowed per contest. This is certainly reflected in the low total, but I believe there's still room for the under to cover in this game. The under is 6-1 in Syracuse's last 7 home games and 4-1 in its last 5 against a team with a winning record. The visitors have not dominated offensively, even with their quarterback at full strength, and did not score more than 20 points in either of their last 2 games. The defenses will leave their fingerprints all over this one, and the score will remain below the total number. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Maryland versus Indiana. Maryland will travel to Bloomington and battle Indiana from Memorial Stadium on ESPN2. Maryland is fresh off a matchup versus Purdue. In that one, the Terrapins fell in a close outcome. As for Indiana, they played Michigan in their last game. The Hoosiers ended up losing by 21 points. Indiana and Maryland have faced off in every season since the Terps joined the Big Ten in 2014, and the Hoosiers lead the all-time series 7-3. Maryland won last year's meeting in College Park 38-35. Maryland is 4-2 against the spread this season, with a 2-0 record on the road. The over is 4-1 in the Terrapins' last 5 road games. Indiana is 2-4 against the spread this season, with a 2-2 record at home. The over is 9-2 in Hoosiers' last 11 home games versus a team with a winning record. The Terrapins are hoping to bounce back from last week's 31-29 home loss to the Purdue Boilermakers when they travel on the road to play the Indiana Hoosiers this week. They had a chance to put Purdue away after taking a 23-17 lead in the fourth quarter, but the Boilermakers blocked the extra point and shifted the momentum of the game. Purdue scored on the next possession to take a 1-point lead before the Terrapins were forced to punt the ball back to the Boilermakers after going 3 and out in 44 seconds. Aiden O'Connell led the Boilermakers to another touchdown to go up 8 points, which ultimately sealed the deal. Luckily for Maryland, Indiana is not Purdue. The Hoosier offense accumulates just 357 yards and scores just 24 points per game, while ranking in the bottom 20 in offensive drive efficiency and touchdown rate. Defensively, the Hoosiers rank outside the top 60 in drive efficiency and opposing touchdown rate, and are especially bad against the pass. This could spell trouble against the Talia Tagovailoa and the Maryland offense, as Tagovailoa is completing 74.1% of his passes with 1,731 yards and 11 touchdowns. As a whole, the Terrapins rank inside the top 25 in offensive drive efficiency and touchdown rate, while scoring 34 points and accumulating 461.7 yards per game. Road favorites of over 7 points who lost the week prior as a home favorite are 30-12 against the spread since the start of 2018. Those favored by double digits in this spot are 20-9 against the spread since the start of the 2018 season, covering by an average of 7 points per game. So the Maryland Terrapins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Neither of these teams have been impressive defensively, and both quarterbacks have shown they can move the ball. Tua has dealt with some minor injuries, but he looked healthy last week, and Maryland should be able to move the ball on a Hoosier defense that gave up 545 total yards of offense to Western Kentucky. Maryland's offense continues to be strong despite the loss last week against Purdue, and Tua should be able to put up good numbers once again. Bazelak has kept the Hoosiers competitive even in most of their losses this year, and at home against Maryland, he should be able to move the ball. Maryland's defense gave up 463 total yards of offense to Michigan, and Purdue was able to convert 8 of 13 third down opportunities against the Terrapins while putting up 373 total yards last week. Both teams should have success moving the ball. This battle of states will pit two of the few teams that defy the nature of the Big Ten against each other. October is when the passing begins to slow down for most of the conference, but not Maryland and Indiana. Both schools pass the ball over 40 times a game and have adopted a lover for the air raid attack. With a sunny, high 80-degree weather expected, look for the rare shootout in Big Ten play. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.